Hi, my name is Cassidy. I'm a senior at Purdue studying forestry and wildlife. This video is part of the Habitat Management 101 series where we go through various techniques that you as a landowner can do to manage for wildlife on your property. Most of the techniques that we go through, any landowner can do, but for more information on techniques that we might not cover, just click the link below. So here I'm standing next to a big dead beech tree, also known as a snag. The technical term for a snag is any dead or dying tree that is 10 feet or taller and has a DBH, which is the diameter at breast height, of 6 inches or more. Snags are great for wildlife because a wide array of wildlife species use them for similar or different purposes. A lot of wildlife species use them as shelter or nesting sites, but they're also great sites for hunting or singing or resting or any other activities that wildlife species like or need to do. And another great thing about snags is you don't have to rely on natural mortality to create more of them on your property. Girdling trees, which is the technique that we're going to be going through today, is another great way that you as a landowner can increase the number of snags on your property. A general recommendation is to have 5 to 15 snags greater than 12 inches in diameter per acre. To manage for the widest variety of wildlife species, snags of different sizes should be left throughout your property. Refrain from girdling a tree that is or will have merchantable value if timber sales are something you are interested in. And don't worry about snags competing with desirable trees. Leaving snags actually saves time and money spent on removal and has minimum impact on other trees' growth. In fact, snags attract insect-eating bird and mammal species, which plays a role in controlling insect pests in your woods. So to girdle a tree, you're going to cut 2 rings all the way around it like you see here. And what this does is it prevents nutrients and water from flowing from the base of the tree to the rest of the tree. So without that nutrient flow, the tree can't live. When you're cutting, you want to make sure you're getting deep enough that you're getting through all the living tissue in the tree to really make sure you're cutting off that flow, but not too deep to where you accidentally fell the tree, or sometimes even worse, getting your saw pinched, which is never fun. But don't worry too much about it. It's not an exact science, and we're going to go through it here in a moment. But the most important thing before you even get started is to make sure you're wearing the proper personal protection equipment, which conveniently I'm wearing all of mine right now. So you want to make sure you're wearing boots, chaps, gloves, eye protection, a helmet with a face shield preferably, and then my helmet already has ear protection as part of it, but if yours doesn't, you want to make sure you have that as well. And then once you've got all that on, you're ready to girdle a tree. The first method I'll demonstrate is the walkaround method, which is sometimes easier for girdling larger diameter trees. First, walk around the tree and clear any twigs or debris that you could trip on or may prevent you from being able to walk around the tree. Then hold the chainsaw horizontally so that the middle part of the top side of the bar is against the tree. Pull the trigger and start cutting into the tree. As you begin walking around the tree, keep your saw cutting as level as possible so that your ring will connect. How deep you need to cut is somewhat dependent on the diameter of the tree, but a good rule of thumb is 1/2 inch deep. After you complete that ring, make another one either above or below the one you just completed, whichever is more comfortable. The second method is the stationary method. This method is often easier when girdling smaller diameter trees, but either way, it is up to what feels safest and most comfortable to you. Start the same way as the walkaround method, but this time stay in one place and let your saw cut around the tree until you can't cut anymore. From there, come back to your starting point and start your second ring and do the same thing that you just did. Then, turn around and find where your ring stopped on the other side of the tree. Now you'll be cutting with the bottom side of the bar. Begin cutting where your ring stopped and bring it around to connect. So don't worry if your rings don't connect on the first try, it happens to everyone. Just make sure you put a slash through so that they do connect and it'll still be effective. And once you've done that, you've created a snag, which you can feel really good about because you could be providing habitat for potentially 65 different wildlife species, which is really cool. And then once the wood decays enough and the tree falls and it's back on the forest floor, it's still going to be providing habitat for wildlife and returning nutrients to the soil. So snags overall are just a really great way to manage your land for wildlife. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, and thank you so much for watching, and be sure to check out our other ones. Thanks.